Hello, my caffeinated friends. I'm Dawn Robles. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I want to show you how to make this truly beautiful card using a sponge technique and some heat embossing. We're using the Timeless Tropical bundle from the 2020 mini catalog, as well as some stamps from the High Tide stamp set that's included in our annual catalog. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I did go ahead and show you in two different colors. I used Coastal Cabana on this one and the Highland Heather on this one. And we're going to go ahead and make this Highland Heather today. So I'm going to go ahead and put hopefully you can see this. These are the dimensions that we're going to be using. I'm going to have a card base, which I'm choosing to use Highland Heather. And I cut that at 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored it at 5 1/2. And then I'll need 2 pieces of black cardstock, one for the inside of the card, and that is going to be cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and one for the outside of the card, and that is going to be cut at 3 3/4 by 5. The same thing for the Whisper White. I'll need 1 piece at 3 3/4 by 5, and the outside piece that we're going to sponge on will be 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So let's move those aside. I hope everybody had a chance to get the dimensions. I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper. Go ahead and put my paper down there so we can kind of copy this so you can see that as well. Colors that we're going to use today are going to be Pineapple Punch, Grapefruit Grove, Flirty Flamingo, Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, the Memento Black, and some Smoky Slate for the inside of the card. So let me go ahead and show you how to sponge the inside of that. And I'm just going to start off with the Pineapple Punch, and I'm going to start off about the center of my card, more towards the bottom center, and I'm going to start off the page and just kind of work my way onto the page here. And I'm just going to keep adding the yellow until I get it to the desired color I want. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just how you find the best technique for you. So I started with the yellow. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same concept, and I'm going to use the Grapefruit Grove. And as I do that, I'm going to go over my yellow and blend those two colors in. And go in with a lighter hand, and you can always make it darker, but once it's dark, you can't ever undo that. So, and then I just kind of gently go over my yellow a little bit, just to add a little bit of orange to the yellow. And I just do this in a circular motion. Then I'm going to switch up to the Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to keep climbing the page here. And again, I'm going to blend the orange and the Flirty Flamingo together, the Grapefruit Grove and the Flirty Flamingo. Just going to kind of blend that together so it all kind of looks like the sky. Same thing with the Highland Heather. Just kind of going into that Flirty Flamingo there. Remember, this is the sky, so nothing is ever going to be perfect with our skies. And I just keep blending and blending until I get that desired look. And then I'm also going to do the Highland Heather below the yellow here as well. Same concept. I'm just going to have it go into the yellow. Just a reflection. And just keep coloring that until I get it the consistency that I want. Then I'm going to go ahead and take some Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to start out light and just slowly make it darker. I think it's so pretty when it's super dark. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some waves down here. This is going to be my water right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add waves. And I did get those waves right out of the Lighthouse, the High Tide stamp set out of the annual catalog. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink that up in Gorgeous Grape. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to go ahead and finish the bottom off with some of the Memento. Again, take this very lightly and just kind of blend it in. And then you can just keep going darker and darker and get it as dark as you'd like it. And I think that's pretty good for me right there. So the next thing that I will do is I will go ahead and bring in my embossing items and we will heat emboss this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my embossing buddy and I'm just going to rub it all over the front of my card here. And what this does is it removes any static from the paper so the embossing powder doesn't stick anywhere except where you want it to stick. I'm going to go ahead and use the palm tree, and I think, yeah, I'm using the E-block for the palm tree. And I'm going to ink that up real good with my Versamark. And then I'll just position that. I hope everybody can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to position that onto right into the black area where I sponged the black. I'm going to give it a good press and then I'm going to pull straight up. And then where your stamped image is, that is where the embossing powder is going to stick, and it won't stick anywhere else on the card, or fingers crossed. So I'll go ahead and use my black embossing powder and just sprinkle that right over the stamped image. Give it a kind of a flick to make sure I got all the excess off. And then I will put the heat tool on it and we'll heat it up. If you haven't yet done any heat embossing, you'll need what's called a heat tool here. And what this does, it kind of works like a blow dryer. It blows a lot of hot air out and it actually melts this powder. So I will be right back so you don't have to listen to it. Okay, I am back. I heat set that so if you can see the shine on it, it's so pretty. The next thing I'm going to do to this is I'm just going to go ahead and add the birds, and those again came from the High Tide stamp set. Just ink those up in the black Memento. And just position them where I want them. Give it a good press. And there we have the birds. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Now, we can go ahead and stamp the inside of our card. Just let me clean my palm tree here real quick. So now the outside of our card is done. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my inside sentiment. And what I did here is I took the Smoky Slate and I just inked up about half of that palm tree. And then I'm going to stamp it off. And then I'm going to come towards the bottom of my paper and just put part of that tree on there. Just makes the inside look not so blank. For me, I'm going to go ahead and stamp hello because I'm just sending out, you know, some quick hellos to brighten somebody's day. But you could make this a birthday card. You could make it a get well card. See, I need more coffee, I'm telling you. And then all there's left to do is to go ahead and adhere our card bases together, or card layers. I'm telling you, 3 cups of coffee, and I need another half a pot, I think, because it's just not working today. Now you can use snail, you can use green glue, you can use whatever you choose to do. I'm just going to use the snail here real quick today. Go ahead and put that on the inside of my card. That will go on the inside of my card base. I'm telling you, one of those days. Okay. Do it again with our incredibly beautiful front. And then I just attach that to the front of the card using some dimensionals. And there you have it, completed card. Now you can add ribbon, you can add flowers or anything you want to the bottom of the card if you think it needs a little more. On some of them I added flowers down here, and some of them I didn't. So there you go. If you guys are looking for a demonstrator or you'd like a catalog, please send me a message or give me a call, and I'd be more than happy to put that in the mail for you. If you're placing an order, you can always visit my site at caffeinatedcraftlady.stampinup.net, or you can send me an email at caffeinatedcraftlady@yahoo.com. So everyone, I hope you find something fun to do during this quarantine time. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected. See you soon.